Hello, 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 everybody. I am just making sure that I am live. I'm going to see if I'm in my event or not. So we're going to see. I hope it looks like I'm not live in my event. So I am. Oh, goodness, you guys, I'm trying so hard. Okay, I think I'm connecting now. All right, am I connecting now? Let's see. Nope, I think I'm connecting. Let's see. If you pop on here, say hello and let me know that you are here. I'm not sure it is working. I'm waiting to see if I'm live. Um, hmm. All right, I'm going to let's see. It says that there is someone here. So let's see. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and go because I know I'm live on YouTube. I just may not be live in the event. So anyway, I will post the link in the replay. If you do pop on, I would love it if you would say hello. Let me know that you're here and we're just going to go. All right. So I have a fun project. So last week we made this tote with printables, and I shared the printables, and we used an iron-on method for it. And so that is really a fun way to use printables. And so if you missed that video, you can go back and look at that, and it'll show you all of the techniques for the iron-on. I had a little bit of a challenge, and you'll see how I worked through that too. But I think that fabric totes and things like that are such a beautiful gift. And so I wanted to create a little something. This is just a little drawstring bag. It is a cotton canvas, so it's a little heavier weight. And I went ahead and did the iron on. I took a scrap from the printable and it was printed in reverse. You'll hear about that too in the previous video. So this is what we're doing here, and we're going to embellish it a little bit. This would be great for, I don't know, holding, I don't know, a lipstick and a lotion, or I thought it would be great for eyeglasses. So I think it is a great little accompaniment to the tote. I just messed that word up. And I thought we would go from there. So this will be kind of a quick one and we'll just see how we do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the project. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, here we are. So I have my little bag and we're going to be using some acrylic paint. I have a golden fluid acrylic in iridescent bronze. I have a phthalo blue acrylic paint, and this is by Winsor & Newton. It's the Galleria acrylic. And then I've got a little bit of gray. So I just wanted to gray it down a little bit, but I thought this shade was a really nice match for what we're using here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little piece of plastic inside. And this is just to keep my paint from leaking through, even though it's got the printable on it and it is a little plasticky. I still want to make sure that I'm okay and that nothing's going to leak if I make a mistake. I have some stamps and we can choose a stamp together, and I've got some palette knives because this is how we're going to paint it. So the first thing that I want to do is to go ahead, and I can't see chat or anything because this is just something. I'm telling you what. I'm going to go out and then go back in and see. I scheduled this through YouTube Studio, but I don't know what happened. So I'm a little discombobulated. Again, I will get the hang of this. You would think that I have forgotten completely how to stream or do anything. So I don't see this happening. So it says it's upcoming, so I don't think I'm live in the event. I am so, so sorry. I will go ahead and do this. So let me see if I go to YouTube, if I can. I'm going to be right back with you. Ah, okay. So I am live. I'm going to just share this real quick. Um, Oops. Okay. Nope, I'm live. I'm just not in the event. All right. Let's just do it and then I'll just share it. Okay. So I'm going to go back over here. Okay. Thank you for your patience. So I have a little bit of phthalo blue here in the acrylic paint, and I've got some gray here. And I'm just going to go here to here videos and live and nope. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of gray here. This is just a neutral gray 5, and it's just Liquitex Basics acrylic. And I'm going to go ahead and just mix this up. It's just going to tone it down a little bit, and I'll add a little bit more gray if I want to, but I just wanted to soften it. It is a pretty bright hue, and I'm not the best at mixing the color, but that's okay. So let's see if we can go here. I'm going to add just a little bit more gray here to this. And just mix that up really well. And I think it's nice. It's got some shading a little bit, but you can see how that softened that up quite a bit. And I didn't want to add white, but I thought just a little bit of gray would be nice. So I've got that, and this does dry pretty quickly. So I'm actually going to be applying this on with a palette knife. And I'm going to do that just because I find that if I use a brush, I just get a little too particular. Like my lines are too straight and all of that. And I really do want something a little different. I want this to show up here. So I'm just going to be scraping some paint on just a little bit. And I'm covering this, but I like how it's just not too perfect. And so I do like that. And I might just add, so see here, I went over a little bit, and that's okay. I'm just going to make it look like it's on purpose, and I'll add a little bit more here to this one side. I really like this postage stamp. And so I wanted to do that here. I'm going to leave some of this here, and where it made a little, I'll make that make sense here in just a little bit. And I got a little here too. So I'm just going to make this make sense. Just like that. And I think that's pretty good. We're going to add something else to this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take this plastic out because I'm going to use my dryer to go ahead and heat this up really quick. And we'll go from there. If you are on here and you're talking to me, I apologize terribly. I cannot see that I am live. I can't find the video to respond to anything. So I'm just going to dry this up really quick. I want to keep my dryer moving because the iron-on is on there, and I don't want to do anything to mess that up. I just want to get this acrylic paint dry really well. So I am going to, now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of a gray. Actually, I think I'm going to use a parchment color. So I'm going to grab that really quick. And let's see. I think this will be kind of nice. So I'm going to add just a little bit of a parchment to this too. Oops. Shake it up really well. This is a fluid acrylic as well. And I'm going to take that same palette knife and just kind of pick that up. And I'm just going to come in here and we're going to do a little bit more, and we're just going to distress it a little bit. I like that, just scraping it on, and the color is really nice because it picks up that's just a little too heavy. So I can add a little more blue here and just get some shading in here. And I just want to go in a little bit of different directions with it. And I like this much better because it's giving me a little bit of shading here. And I'm going to come down here with it as well. And I'll pick up where I went a little heavy. I'm going to mix in some more of that blue. And now we've got some nice variation in the color. So the fun thing about a palette knife is that you just get these great random strokes. The tough thing about it is you get these great random strokes. So it's just, you just have to embrace it, I guess, is the thing to do. So I'm going to come in here, and since I went a little bit on there, I'm just going to make that make sense, and we'll come over here on the fabric a little bit, and that's looking pretty good. I'll come a little bit more. I do like mixing this up a little bit in here. So I'm going to come up here. So it definitely doesn't look like I've, used a brush on this. And that's what I really wanted. But I love that little postage stamp. I have a thing for postage, postmarks, and postage. So let's dry this one up just a little bit. And then we'll be ready for the next step. We're going to go ahead and do a stamped image on this. Dry this up so that I can do my stamp, and then we'll choose a stamp that we can do. I just want to do a little stamped image. Since there's a bird on the pocket, I want to do something a little bit different. I didn't want to do a bird, and I didn't want to do, I don't know, but I wanted something complimentary. So I thought, well, we'll just do a flower, and we will keep it all nature themed. So let's see if that's dry enough. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to just pop those in a little bit of water so I don't stick my elbows in it, because I know I will. And I'll just fold this up a little bit. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I have these stamps. These are just little stamps that I got on Amazon, and I thought they were some pretty florals. This one I think is going to be a little big, although I love it. And I think if I but it's got too much of a border, so I don't want that. And then this one I love, of course, because it's a thistle, but it's too small. So I think I'm going to go with one of these, and I'm going to see what I like here. I think this one's kind of nice, but let's see what this one's like. I like this one. This one's pretty heavy, and so it's just going to be too much. So we're going to use this one, and I'm going to take it off of this and add it to a piece of thin mount that I have here. Just like, I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of look at the placement. I don't want that N or this to go over, so I'm going to be a little careful with it. And then I'm going to stop with the ink right here. So I guess I could do the number over that and it would be okay. It'll still, I don't know, we can try it. It might just mess it up a little bit too much, but that's okay. So we're going to do that, but I'm going to stop right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hold my fingers there so that I remember that I don't want to do that. And I'll just go ahead and stamp the whole thing. So I'm using a waterproof ink. It is a distress ink. It's a Tim Holtz distress ink, and it's the archival ink, but it is waterproof. So I like that. And I heat set it usually but I'll just do that with a dryer. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get this text. These are just off Amazon. They're not the highest quality of stamps, but they have some really fun, designs on them. So let's do this. I'm going to lay this in place where I want it. And I'm going to let that leaf just go over a little bit. And I'm going to come right down here. Now I have this fun little tool. It's called a Baron tool. And I like it because it helps me. My fingers don't work as well as they used to. So this is really nice. And it allows me to get some good pressure on here. And so I'm just doing this here. And then while it's down, I'm going to lift it up. And I think that's really fun. So this, I'm going to go ahead and dry a little bit. And then we're going to put the finishing touches on it. And we'll go from there. This is going to be a quick one tonight. But I think this will look really pretty with the bag. And again, you can do the back side if you'd like. You can use any of the colors that you like. And I wouldn't be planning really on washing this. And so, you could seal it if you wanted to, or you could mix a little of Golden's fabric medium. I believe it's GAC 900 or GAC 9000. So you could add that to your acrylic paint, follow the instructions on that. And then you would be able to heat seal this and seal it so that it would be wipeable, or you could at least wipe it down. But I wouldn't be really planning on washing this. So the last thing that I want to do just to give it a little oomph is I want to use, this is probably one of my favorite metallic paints. I love the Golden metallics. And this is an iridescent bronze. I like that it looks great with the burlaps and the beiges and all of that. I am just going to use the tip of this really thin trowel style palette knife. And I'm going to just scrape a little off here. And then I'm going to scrape a little bit in here, just kind of randomly on the edges, nothing too precise. And I've got a little here, so I'm going to go ahead and again make a little more sense down here. And just, I'm going to come around the edges here, just the slightest little touch, just a little bit of fun gold or something like that. Just a little bit of random gold. I got a little fleck right there that I'll take off. And I'll come here just a little bit. I tried this with a brush once and it was just too. Like it looked too planned out. I didn't really like that. And so I wanted to just do something a little bit different. And I'm just going to kind of frame it out. We can do a little bit here. It just gives it a very distressed appearance. And I do love that very much. Kind of go over here at the top. You could put some tape on any areas of the fabric that you don't want to get touched. But I didn't do that. At all. I'm just moving that around. I do like this palette knife because it's flexible. And I also wanted to say thank you to so many of you who bought the printables last week. I hope you're enjoying them, that you've had a chance to download them. and we'll play with them and let me know what you think. So I'm just going to do a little bit more here, just a little up at the top. And here I am going to get just a tiny little brush, but I'm going to get just a really small one, just so I can kind of come in here, and I'm just going to dab it a little bit where I went on the fabric and the seams. So I'm just going to dab that in. You can see it just really starts to look too painted in. So I'll use my palette knife to spread it out. So we can do that a little bit too, just like that. So I like that. Might play with it just a little bit more and then bring that in. So it's just kind of the two tool technique, I guess. And then we'll just do a little bit down the center. And I made a mess down here, but that's okay. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this blue and from underneath here and just fix that up a little bit. So it doesn't look like it just looks a little neater, a little more dyed rather than where I messed up. Can use my fingers a little bit. And I think that's pretty good. So this is what it's going to look like. It looks a little bit messy, but I like how it will coordinate with the tote. So the colors are really pretty similar, as you can see for the pocket. So it makes sense. I could have used like even a brown ink. That could have been really pretty, but it's just an easy thing to do. And it just makes it more of a little gift set. So that's what I have for you. I am so sorry that I did not go live in the event. Now I'm thinking that next week, third time's a charm. So I think it's going to work out just fine. Just bear with me. It has been a, gosh, I just feel like I've forgotten how to do this. So, but I haven't. I'm getting my feet wet again. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is live on the channel. I may download it and then upload it to the event. And that's it. So happy creating. I appreciate your being here. Thank you for your patience and your grace. I so appreciate it. And I will see you soon with another project. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great night.